so no worries at all.
I like the backdrop back there. If my son saw that, he's going to see it. He's going to freak out.
That's awesome. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, it's I try to do a little professional, but still show a little bit of personality and
Right.
myself. So I've got a couple things I want to put up there. I think I'm going to get a neon sign that says Elevate Media, move the shield over a little. And I actually am going to get I'm in the process of getting a World War II M1 Garand rifle. I'm big into World War II and history and stuff. So I was like, okay, so we got that, we got Captain America, and then we got the brand right in the middle. So I was like, that'd probably look pretty cool. So
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it already
yeah,
looks good.
well, I
So,
appreciate it. Yeah,
so
thank you.
where are you located?
Indiana.
Okay, right
Yep. How
on.
about yourself?
I'm in Kansas City. We're not far away.
Hmm.
We're right here in the
I have,
Midwest.
I have a sister-in-law from, I think she's from Wichita.
Okay.
I think that's the area she's from. So I think she went to Kansas State. Kansas State University, I think is where she went. So,
Right on.
but yeah, pretty good. That's awesome. Yeah, Midwest. And I keep wanting to come out that way. I mean, I've driven through, but I've always wanted to do like the storm chasing stuff and chase the tornadoes and everything. And I know
Yeah.
out there is a little bit more prevalent for people to do that. Indiana, we have them, but I just always see people doing it out in Kansas and all out that way. So it's
Oh
on the
yeah.
bucket list.
Yep.
So
This is the alley. And if you
yeah,
want to come through Kansas City, we got the barbecue, we got the music scene, we
perfect.
got a lot going on. So it'd be a
That's
good thing for
awesome.
sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So
So, well, hey man, it's great to meet you. Are you
yeah,
comfortable with diving right in?
for sure. Yeah, I'm ready
Okay.
whenever you are.
Right on. So the first thing I want to start with before we get into your life and what makes you who you are as a founder and CEO, I want to know, how did you survive COVID? How did you get through these last 3 years? And how has it changed the way that you do things now that we're entering this post-pandemic era of our lives?
Yeah, so it's just like everyone else, it's been crazy. And I actually am a little different position than some CEOs. I started my journey with COVID. I quit my job April 2020 to start this journey of building a business. And at the beginning, had no idea what it was going to be or what it was going to look like or how I was going to do it. No background in it. Just wanted something different from life. I wanted to be able to do more, help more, and build a life that I enjoyed, since life's so short, anyways. And so in 2020 in April, I gave my 4 weeks notice. 2 weeks into those 4 weeks, I got furloughed, sent home without pay, and so my journey started a little bit earlier. And it was an interesting journey. And thankfully we had some savings, and so my wife's a teacher, so she's not making a whole lot, and it was really just grinding. It was really just sticking my nose down and learning from other people, because I knew I didn't know it. I didn't know much at all. And so I just leaned into learning from other people. And that's what my podcast is about, the Elevate Media podcast. I just interviewed other people to figure out what they did, how they became successful, how they overcame obstacles, and just was really a student for probably a good year. And to backtrack a little bit, I started my podcast in 2019, where I was, again, just interviewing people. And so I didn't want to do things in the video production, podcasting space. I was like, no, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to do that. But eventually, faith is a big part of me. God was like, hey, you trusted me this far. Listen and look what I've been giving you. And he had sent people to me because my show has been doing well, thankfully. Top at that time, top 10% globally listened to, now top 2%. And, we charted different charts around the world and US, and just been really grateful for how that success has come with the show. So people were coming to me, hey, how'd you start your show to set it up for success? How did you, do all the technical background things of starting the show? How did you go and grow your show? How do you get guests? How do you get on shows? And so people were just coming to me, and, at the beginning, we needed some money. So I leaned into it a little bit. I was like, yeah, I can do that because I've done it. And so started taking clients within that, and finally just like, okay, I hear you. I'm going to get out of the way, get my pride, get my ego out of the way, and lean into what I was good at, what people wanted, and what they're willing to pay for. And when I did that, when I changed over and officially started Elevate Media Group, it's just started kind of rolling.
Yeah.
And we've been growing ever since. And it was really just focusing on that one thing. Um, the podcast launching and video production. So we would take their files and edit them, and it just kind of flowed together. Not getting all out in the weeds and chasing all the shiny objects. That was a big part of it, and just going one step at a time is really kind of, I guess, what I did.
So let me ask you this,
Yeah.
you're a podcast host, you own your own company, Elevate
Mm-hmm.
Media.
Yeah.
But if I was to put you in front of a third grade group of kids for career day and one of them looks up and says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
Yeah. I would tell them, I would say, I help people take videos of themselves and put it on social media so other people can see, so they can make more money than they are now. And that's kind of how I would state it. We just help people make videos so they can show people what they do for business to make more money.
That simplifies it. So let's go back to where you were born and raised and how these seeds got into you to be
Yeah.
somebody that's into producing content and being a business owner and being in media more or less. How did
Mhm.
all of this happen for you?
Yeah, it's a good question, because I think we all need to look back kind of, where we've come from and what has spurred us, and where did those seeds get planted. And looking back on my journey, didn't have any entrepreneurs in my family, nothing like that. So growing up, what I received, those seeds that I got, was super hard work ethic from my parents. Just doing what it takes to get the job done, even if it's terrible, even if it sucks, like just doing what it takes, 120%, 150%, no matter what, and just get it done. So that work ethic was instilled into me. Seeing my dad really, go through it at his job, and take just beatings, and not getting respected all the time, and not getting advancements like he should, but just continuing to do that, because that's what he had been doing for so long, and that's what supported his family, supported me and my siblings and my mom. Even though he'd probably rather be out working on his cars or spending time with his family, or with his parents when they were alive, like just doing what it took to support his family. That was a big seed that was planted in me. Just doing what it takes to build something to support your family and those you care about. And then just I was blessed to be able to be coached. Have one of my soccer coaches growing up was my brother, and so being able to see leadership, and then seeing him step into his own CEO role while I was in college, and just learning leadership from him as I grew up on the sports field, how to manage people, how to confront people, but still let them know that you've always got their back, even when you're hard on them, and just being able to walk that line. So learned that was a big seed that he planted. Um, and then a lot of it stems from my time in the Bible, and just what I've learned there, and how to treat other people, and love people no matter what, because no one's perfect, and seeing them as people, and not a position or whatever else. uh, that was a big one that I try to remember as I bring people onto the team, or as I work with clients. Like, these are people who, we all have issues, we all fall short, and kind of allows me to hopefully give a little bit more grace to people. And then a big person that got me into podcasting and really wanting to see a difference in my life, personally and professionally, was Lewis Howes, and the School of Greatness, his podcast, and just listening to him and all the guests he had on there. That really sparked inside of me that entrepreneurial fire that I think I had, but I didn't really know what it meant, and made me realize, hey, there's so much more out there that I could do with my life, to support others, to help others, and to build that life, that I truly love living. So those are a lot of the seeds that kind of played a part into who I am right now.
So who would be a dream guest for you, a dream person, anybody on the planet that you would love to
Oh,
interview? Huh.
yeah. There are a handful. Lewis House, obviously, would love to be able to have him on, and for one, just tell him thank you, because he has no idea. But he's inspired so many, and myself included. That'd be a great one to have on. I would love to interview Dwayne Johnson. I think just his work ethic and his drive and just the brand he's built in Shaq. I think another thing, just the personal brand that they've been able to create. And they seem like genuine people. And I think that'd be a really cool conversation. So I say those three off the top of my head for sure.
Yeah. Those are high octane people, and they obviously
Yeah.
have a lot of motivation to get things done. What is that for
Yep.
you? What's the gas in your tank, the spark for you that makes you get up every day and go through and do everything from podcasting to being a business owner?
Yeah, there's two things really. The first is my family. Because I want them to have a different life. I want them to be able to um I want them to be able to see that there's more out there than just school, job, retirement with a 401k. I want them to see that there's more choices. And I want them to be able to learn. And I want them to be able to have a different life, to experience more. Like I said, my dad worked so hard to provide a great life for us, but he worked a lot. And so he was at the job quite a bit. But when he was with us, which was great. But I want them to be harmony with my business and family. I want them to be a part of it. I want to be around them. I want them to learn from me. I want them to be able to interact and be a part of the business as it scales and grows. Um, I kind of think of Grant Cardone in that respect, because I see him building, his amazing empire, and he's been doing it for years, like almost decades, I think, almost. And he always has family. He has his daughters with him. They come up on stage, they speak, his wife speaks, they're in his content. And of course he's been doing it, like I said, decades to get to that point, to be able to have the team to help him do that. But that's like a goal. I want my family to be a part of it. I want them to be along for the ride, and just continue to build that legacy for my children, for their children, and God willing, generations way after I'm gone.
Yeah.
That's the first one. And then the second is, you know, I truly believe that we're all made for a purpose. I think there's a lot we can do in life to make a positive impact. And a lot of the times people don't live up to that because of fear, because they don't want to get out of that comfort zone, which is understandable. But I believe that if we don't live up to our potential, or at least try to take those steps to get to that next level, to truly live to our purpose, so many people miss out on the beauty that we can create, if it's art, the help, if it's, if we're out there being a consultant or a business coach, if we're building a business, we get to support other people financially as well. Like, so there's so much that we can do and help the world if we could just live fully to, our potential and our purpose. And so that's another thing that drives me, is I don't want to be leaving anything on the table, and allow others not to succeed because maybe I didn't show up. Maybe I wasn't there. Maybe I didn't get to that level, where I could have had a positive impact on someone's life, that helps them to do way better and bigger things than I've done. And so that's the second reason. I want to be able to say I gave it all. At the end of the day, I left it all in the field, and hopefully the world, the people I've come into contact with, are better for it, and do far greater things than I've done.
So of all of these people that you've helped, what's been your best success story? One that you always kind of think back on and smile?
Yeah, that's a hard question, because I'm thankful that we're able to come alongside a lot of individuals, a lot of brands and businesses who are doing amazing things through their podcasts, by sharing their story, by sharing their knowledge. They're making a difference, and we're just a piece of that. So being a piece of that in so many different areas, it's like a drop in the bucket. And if we're helping them create professional, high quality content, put it in and out there, they're going to get seen more, and more people are going to learn and grow and change and heal through that. So I think in general, that's why my mindset changed. When it changed from, oh, I don't want to do podcasting and video production because I don't want to do that, to, okay, I see this is where I've been strong in. I can make a difference here. People need this, and I can help people get their stories out more to make a bigger impact. That changed for me. And so I truly am just thankful that we're able to do that. Um, I guess in a smaller scale, it's seeing those individuals who are nervous, are scared to start a podcast, to get in front of a camera and talk. And that's what's been holding them back. And being able to walk alongside them and give them that strength and courage to do so. And then seeing them start and just seeing them, prosper and blossom and just crush it out of the park. And it doesn't matter 1,000 downloads or not, but they're growing and they're gaining that confidence. And I think at the end of the day, being able to see them do that, I know they're heading in the right direction, and they're going to do great things. I think that's really awesome for me.
So as a professional up to this point, what are you the proudest of that you've done?
Hmm. What's the proudest thing that I've done? What am I most proud of? That's a good question. I'm proud of, and it's a hard question too sometimes, to
Yeah.
think of it that way, because we want to be humble, we want to do that, but I'm thankful that God's used me in different ways and led me in different ways so I could grow. And I would say one of them is just trusting in Him and taking that leap back in April 2020 and quitting my job, because I don't recommend it to people a lot of the times to just quit your job and try to figure it out, because it comes with a whole nother level of stress. And um, but I'm proud that I listened, and I'm proud I took that chance, because I don't think I'd be where I am today had I not done that. I'm proud that, I guess I'm proud that my boys, who are, they're 21 months and 2 months old right now, but I'm proud that they're going to be able to see, their dad be unrelentless, have that fortitude to endure through hard times, because it's not easy. Entrepreneurship's not easy. It's simple, but it's hard work, and there's lots of ups and downs. So I'm proud that they're going to be able to see, you know, that no matter what level we're at, there's always going to be something new levels, new devils. And so I'm proud that they're going to be able to see that commitment and that work ethic, and hopefully I'll continue to be able to harmonize life well, and they're going to be able to see that. And yeah, I think those are some things I'm proud of.
So you talked about being kind of a history buff. If you could
Yeah,
go back in history and see any event firsthand, what would you love to have seen?
man, that's a loaded question. Whew, because I do like history, and I'm like, my mind's just all of a sudden going all over the place trying to figure out um just yeah. So World War II is like a staple of my history that I love. I think I say I would love to watch it, but it would be really, really hard as well. Two things during World War II: the invasion of Normandy, D-Day, would be a super hard thing to watch. But I think I would, if I could be, off and just watch that invasion and see those individuals, going forward without a care of their life, caring more about what the fight was about, for freedom over evil. I think that would just, my whole life would probably change to actually be able to be there and see that. It would
Yeah,
be unfathomable. And I would love to see, the flip side, when they realize, hey, Germany, the Axis power has surrendered, just to see their relief and joy and celebration, driving through those countries and being welcomed by those cities after they've been, occupied for so long. Just seeing all the joy, I think, would be another cool, like, flip to that coin. That would be neat. I would love to go just watch some of Julius Caesar,
yeah,
and how he led before he was emperor in the military, and then as he was emperor, like, just to see some of that,
yeah.
and being able to see, Jesus walk on earth, would be would be crazy, in any capacity.
Yeah.
Back when he walked would be another cool thing I'd love to go see.
Very nice. That's a full ticket right there
Yeah,
in the
like I
time
said, there's
machine.
so much. Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it, it's there. That's a, yeah, good question.
So let me ask you this. You've lived a full life, You've had a
Mhm.
lot that's happened. You gain wisdom
Yeah.
because of everything that you've been through. But if you had a dream tonight and ran into the 20-year-old version of yourself,
Mm.
you could give that younger version of you a piece of advice based on your wisdom you've gained up to this point. What would you tell that young version of you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And while you ponder that, I just want to
Yeah.
let you know this happens a lot. Whenever I'm on a podcast and I talk, cats come. There's a cat in the corner, and I love
Oh,
it.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
They
he's,
hear the
that's
voice. I'm a
one
cat
of the
person.
2. I don't yeah, I'm just glad I didn't jump on the desk, but
Yeah.
I
No,
apologize if that's
no,
a
I love it. I love it.
okay. Um, what would I tell my younger self at 20? Let's see. I'd probably, knowing, just my story, I would tell them, "Hey, you're worth it. Your life's worth it. You're in a dark place right now, but you're gonna get through it. So keep moving forward and understand that you're more than whatever title is out there. More than a student title, more than an athletic trainer title, more than a business owner title. Um, you are more than all of those things, and you can make a big difference in life, and you're going to. So keep running the good race, keep moving forward, you know, run, walk, or crawl, whatever it takes. Just don't stop. And yeah, just get ready, because life's an adventure, and you're gonna be ready for it. It's just keep moving forward. I think I would just remind him that, and let him kind of figure it out still.
Would he have listened?
I think he would have. Yeah, I think he would have pondered on that some, because that was right around the time, when I was 20. I was right around the time I was trying to figure all that out. Like, is my life worth living? Is it worth it for me to even be here? Is there a reason I'm here? Would anyone even care if I wasn't? Kind of, the Wonderful Life story, if you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think that would have, back then I heard a voice saying, hey, do the hard thing, go get help, get counseling, which changed the trajectory of my life. But yeah, so I think I would have listened, and I would have thought on it more. And um, yeah, I think I would have continued down the same path I took.
So everyone out there has a perception of you, pockets of people, family, friends,
Mm-hmm.
clients, colleagues, but you run the show. What is your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Oh, just some guy from Indiana in the middle of the cornfields, trying to build a better life for my family and others. And yeah, I always think back to, if you've seen Indiana Jones, and I forget which one it is, not the newest one, but and not Crystal Skull, but he goes, someone asked him, "Hey, what's the plan?" I think it was the Last Crusade. I think his dad said, "Hey, what are we gonna do?" And he said, "I don't know. I'm making this up as I go." I think I need to get that up as a poster, because a lot of the times this is what I feel like in
Yeah.
business. So I feel like I should get that as a poster, because a lot of the times I feel like I'm just making this up as I go, trying to figure it out, take that next step, because you're always getting to that next level, and that next level is a complete new thing. We've never been there before, and there's no plan, there's no guidebook really. And so I just feel like I'm making it up as I go. And I tell people that, because I just try to learn from everybody, no matter their level, no matter what they do, and try to implement and lean into those that are doing what I want to do, or at the level I want to get to, and just see what they're doing. But yeah, it's a roller coaster, and you have to be ready to pivot and just change direction if you need to. Um, but yeah, I feel like I'm just a guy, that if I can do something like this, anyone else can. You just have to, like I said, have the fortitude to endure, and keep moving forward.
So coming from Indiana, what do you like the best about Indiana and where you live?
Yeah, thankfully I'm in the country a little bit, so that's nice, to have some space, but still have neighbors decently close. I like the community, and I was just talking on another podcast not too long ago, was just being welcomed. Wherever you go, I feel like you're welcome. People are nice. They're easy to talk to here in Indiana, but I also feel like that's everywhere. I feel like so many places get a bad rap on social media and then in the news, and I think that's just the nature of the beast. But when you go to these places, I think most people are just welcoming and happy, and nice that you're there. Nice to you being there. And so I think Indiana is the same way. I think just a really welcoming state, homey. Obviously, I've grown up here, I lived in some other states, or one other state, for a little bit, and I've traveled around. But yeah, I just like that it feels safe still. It feels, like you could go anywhere and be okay and talk to people. And um, yeah, so I would say that's kind of the biggest stuff. It's just kind of a homey, comforting feeling.
So if anyone wants to listen to your podcast, hire Elevate Media, where is the best place for people to go?
Sure, yeah, you can check out the Elevate Media podcast wherever you listen to the podcast. Um, Search Elevate Media Group on YouTube. You can check out our videos. And then if you're interested, in launching a video podcast, or getting your podcast content created from your podcast, you can reach out to me on Instagram at chris.t.anderson. Shoot me a message, or email our team at support@elevate-media-group.com.
Excellent. Chris Anderson, thank you so much for taking time out today. Thank you for your story. Best of luck with everything.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you. Take care.